Well, hello and welcome. Well, I went to bed early last night, so I decided to have an earlier night. I posted a video about the fact that there had been an agreement between Christian Porter and the ABC, but things have hit up. Things have gone off. So let's look at some of the headlines that were on the media, because it's very interesting, because the ABC's actually brought out another statement. All right. So we've got here, Porter claims ABC forced into humiliating defeat. The Daily Telegraph. Daily Mail. Christian Porter drops his defamation against the ABC with no damages page. So that was 4 days ago. So he moved to strike out major sections of the ABC's defamation case. Australian Minister drops ABC defamation lawsuit. That's from Taipei. Wow. So if I go and have a look at, if I just put Christian Porter ABC, it's defamation. PM a winner as Porter drops defamation fight, but no resolution for voters. Porter decides it's time to fold them in ABC defamation case. ABC warns reporters against saying Christian Porter lost. Renewed calls for public inquiry. So the ABC, because what's happened is that Christian Porter has come out and said that the ABC, sort of implying that the ABC lost and he'd sort of won. So the ABC last night, this is their second statement. So if I go back, so that was their first statement. This is a clarified statement. ABC responds to statements made today by Christian Porter. This is their response. The ABC has not said that it regrets the article. It says that the article remains online without amendments. As we have stated, the ABC stands by the importance of the article, which reported on matters of significant public interest. The editor note says both parties accept that some readers misinterpreted the article as an accusation of guilt against Mr. Porter. That reading, which is not intended by the ABC, is regretted. The ABC has never and still does not accept that the article suggested guilt on the part of Mr. Porter. The ABC did not plead a truth defence to the guilt, meaning that Mr. Porter alleged in his statement of claim. The article was not sensationalist. It was an accurate and factual report on a letter that had been sent to the Prime Minister and 2 other senior politicians. Communications concerning the mediation started before commencement of the Dyer versus Chrysanthemum proceedings. It is simply incorrect to suggest that evidence in the case led to the ABC to seek mediation. Mediation is very common in the defamation matters, and it is still important that all litigant parties seek to explore potential resolution options when they can, especially so for the ABC as a model litigant. As a public broadcaster, the ABC considered the payment of mediation costs to be a responsible course of action. The resolution reached avoid further significant legal costs. In relation to other statements and comments that have been made, the only costs paid by the ABC, apart from its own, were mediation and related costs. Four Corners EP Sally Neighbour did not lie when she tweeted no money was paid. Miss Neighbour meant that no money was paid to Mr. Porter, which is correct. Miss Neighbour quickly clarified her tweet to say that no damages were paid. ABC categorically rejects the claim that Louise Milligan coached Joe Dyer. The suggestion is not only an insult to Miss Milligan, but also to Miss Dyer's intelligence and integrity. Despite the assertion that Mr. Porter's filed reply, despite the assertion in Mr. Porter's filed reply, Miss Milligan did not attempt to speak to Kate before her death. This suggestion is completely untrue. The ABC has previously published this statement on the Christian Porter litigation. So there's just so many questions, isn't there? So many questions. And so, I mean, some of my questions are, you know, why bring out this narrative? But the ABC was always pleading truth. And so I've got lots of questions about what they knew, what they knew and what they don't. It's just bizarre, you know, and like this is from one of the, this is another article that's come out. War of Words erupts as media fights for the release of ABC's legal defence on Christian Porter's defamation case. A bit of war of words has erupted between Christian Porter and the ABC after he continued his defamation case, but it's not all over yet. Former Attorney General demands that the ABC's scandalous legal defence to the defamation case over historic art allegations must be permanently removed from federal court files and remain secret. Will be challenged by other media organisations, including News Corp and Nine News. So it's interesting because everybody wants to find out what it was that he's trying to keep secret. What is it? So news.com.au goes on to say a bit of words, war of words has erupted between Porter and the ABC after he discontinued his defamation case on Monday night, complaining the ABC had unleashed a modern-day lynch mob, but dropped his actions without damages. The ABC will pay for mediation costs. So don't forget that ABC is a public broadcaster, and so they want to try and keep their costs down. And interestingly enough, the government keeps cutting their budget. Both sides of the legal battle were claiming vindication. The new statement concedes that the R allegation could not be substantiated to a criminal or civil standard, did not suggest that he was guilty of defence. So they're saying because it can't be proven, it doesn't mean that he's innocent. It doesn't mean that it's guilty. So Rebecca Giles, Mr. Porter's lawyer, revealed on Monday that one of the other conditions of settlement was that the redacted parts of the ABC's legal defence to the story be removed from court files. Mr. Porter had previously made an application to federal court to suppress the parts of defence and subject to a non-publication order on the grounds it included scandalous material and was an abuse of the court. And that was due to be argued today. It's astonishing. Lashing Miss Milligan for publicly stating on Twitter that she hopes the redacted parts of the documents would be made public. Miss Giles said the ABC had expressly agreed never to release the information contained in the legal defence. It is astonishing that Miss Milligan and the other employees of the ABC have now seen fit to publish statements inconsistent with the settlement that they themselves personally agreed to. Further, the suggestion by Miss Milligan that she wants the defence to be released when she has, apparently in good faith, agreed to it being removed from the court file. National Editorial Council at News Corporation Australia, Michael Cameron, confirmed the media organisations, including News Corp and Nine, will seek to challenge the non-publication order on Tuesday morning. The country's first law officer made a serious claim against the ABC and the journalists. It is only fair that the general public is given equal access to the rebuttal of Mr. Porter's allegations. While the contents of the defence remain secret, friends of Porter's accused, including Joe Dyer and former boyfriend James Hook, were expected to give evidence at the defamation trial. In a statement to Nine News, to news.com.au in March, Mr. Hook revealed that he is the man referred to as James in the woman's unsworn statements and extract from her diary. Now, Miss Dyer and James Hook, Joe Dyer was the one that was responsible for getting Mr. Porter's lawyer removed. She actually, due to a conflict of interest. And James Hook was also called to give evidence, and he was subpoenaed as well to give evidence. I am suspecting, this is purely speculation, that what happened here is related to the defence. He also claimed that he had relevant discussions with Mr. Porter about his relationship with a woman in 1992 in Perth, and subsequently, Mr. Porter denies the allegations. Mine is just one set of recollections. I am aware of the fallibility of the human mind memory, however unintentional. That said, I have what I consider to be clear recollections of recent discussions I had with her over the years from mid-1988 until her death. I also have what I consider to be clear recollections of relevant discussions I had with Christian Porter from April 1992 in Perth through to the mid-1990s. So, an emotional Porter claimed he was vindicated on Monday night. The reason I determined to bring this action against the ABC, the reason I was willing to go under oath and to say what I've always said is that things alleged did not happen, and the reason I brought this case is very simple. If it happened in the reporting of this matter and was left completely unchallenged, that would have meant a country where Australia could have their lives and careers ruined by an unchallenged printing of sensational accusations alone. Let me be clear about what happened publicly in this settlement. The ABC has determined not to defend the matter. They've been forced by these proceedings to explicitly state that the accusations that were contained in the article could not be proved by either a criminal or civil standard. Let me be clear about this. The ABC has been forced to express regret at the outcome of their reporting. And then it says, but in the second statement, the ABC flatly denied those reports. So we've got a bit of a the ABC also revolved the legal mediation to resolve the case started before the commencement of the legal tussle to remove Mr. Porter's lawyer on the grounds of conflict of interest. He lost his lawyer to conflict of interest. That the two people, one of the people responsible for that, or the person that took the lawyer to court, was going to be a major defence witness in their statement of truth. So it's going to be very, very, it's going to be very, very interesting. Lots of people now are calling for an inquiry. I'm calling for the Prime Minister to have an inquiry to see whether Mr. Porter is fit for office. He's no longer the Attorney General. He has been given another position. That might speak volumes itself. He's no longer the first law officer of the country. My opinion is he was not fit to be Attorney General. And of course, the allegations are still have been untested, untried. And we will never know. I mean, he's always going to have allegations. Maybe, I don't know whether this defamation case was actually going to be the way to prove his innocence, but then it may have also proved his guilt, because the ABC was always pleading the truth defence. They had proof of truth, as we read in lots of their documents. And don't forget, lots of the stuff that we were reading was redacted because it was a public record. It was on public record. It was a public file. So I don't think this is over yet. This is going to be interesting. So the media this morning has banded together to try and get the copies of the files. They're trying to see whether they can find out what on earth is going on. What was in these documents that he was not wanting everybody to see? This is the question. What do you reckon? Should it all just go away? Should it all just go away? In fact, I've just checked the court file, and it's due to start. There's still Justice Jaggett is got the 9:30 and the 10:15. She's got the case management hearing until her hearing. So whether we will see, that's when the media organisations are going to go in and apply for that, the defence. But today was all about the defence, about the suppression orders. They were going to argue over the suppression orders today and do the case. Now that they've settled mediation, I'm assuming the judge will formally finalise that. As I said, Mr. Porter has stated that He wants the documents taken out of the court file. That is what's going to be argued today. So I will keep you posted. This is not over yet. This is not over yet. This looks like this is going to be far from over. So I'll keep you posted. I have a court appointment to keep. I'll speak to you soon. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button.